Hey, this is George Gomez, Mr. Gensler's general psychology. Um, TQ number one. I'm doing mines on drugs. So, please bear with me. I'm doing this straight off the top of my head. All I did was write the TQ on the piece of paper. So I feel like I perform better just off the top of my head, not overthinking it when I'm writing. So, should medical marijuana be legal? Why or why not? I myself say yes. It should be legal. I feel like not only will it help a lot of people, but it would help the medical industry itself. Right. So, see, my mom, I'm gonna use a personal thing. My mom, she has diabetes. She does not smoke. She does not do anything with marijuana at all. Simply because she says that it's illegal. She doesn't want to be breaking the law. So I think that with diabetes, you know, not only would it help her, because my mom suffers from a lot of pain in her legs, lower back, um, bone bone issues. See, it different type of ways, different a lot of different um how you say this, a lot of different pains that she can go through simply by not only consuming it in a joint or out of a bong by smoking it, or I feel like she can also do something as simple as eating a piece of chocolate bar. That not only, well, the purpose isn't to get her high at all. It's just take away her pain, make her more relaxed. She has real bad nerve issues just because she's always mad because of the fact that she's always in pain. So I feel like she takes a piece of a chocolate bar, a piece of a brownie, or a gummy. You know, it'd make it a lot easier for her just to cope with the fact that her her pain is like subsiding because of the fact that it takes away pain so much. You know, um. So yeah, like a lot of people probably would benefit from it being medically legalized, and so I think yeah, it should be, just because I'd like to see my mom and a lot of other people just doing good because, or not in pain because of the fact that they can consume marijuana medically, and it'll help them cope with things easier. Now, next question is, should medical marijuana be recreationally um legalized? I say I say yes, simply because I do dabble in it myself. I enjoy it. I don't do anything bad. I don't go around starting problems with nobody. I don't go around hurting anybody. I relax. I stay at home, go to school, chill, play Xbox. I don't do anything, which most likely is what other people will most likely be doing on a day to day basis. Nobody really gets high and decides to kill a whole bunch of people at a school or anything. So not only does it benefit people, just relaxing and chilling and not causing any harm to people, but it's a $1 billion industry. All right, so think about how much Florida's economy, not only the United States economy, but Florida's economy will benefit from this. $1 billion industry that you know it helps school funds, it helps hospital funds, it helps. What can't you think about it? Most dispensaries open, they have to donate most of their money because of the fact that it's still a federal law and they can't benefit from it as much. So it's not like these people are making money and getting rich as heck just because they open a dispensary selling medical or recreational marijuana. No, they have to donate it to charities, and how much is that gonna affect our community? How much is that gonna affect our social systems, and how like how is that even bad? Okay, people are getting high on the street. They still get punished for smoking. You gotta still stay at your house, not doing anything wrong. You can't just walk up and down the street smoking a blunt or a joint and thinking it's okay. No, you're at your house doing it. So I mean, what else could you really ask for? There's nothing nothing too bad. I mean, okay, they get high. They're not bothering anybody. They're at home, doing nothing. So I think recreational marijuana should be legalized. And the fact that I do want to open my marijuana store and have I want to open my own restaurant, and edibles and pastries, different type of stuff. That's why I'm in school for, to become a chef. So I can follow my path and hopefully get up there and live my life. So yeah, I think medical marijuana should be legalized, and so should recreational marijuana. Next question is pros and cons. Well, I mean, I gave you some pros and cons there. Well, I gave you some pros. So like cons would be, you know, people that don't like marijuana and find it stupid, or they'll probably be a lot more mad. Or if somebody gets high, decides to smoke a couple blunts or joints and get into a car, they're putting a lot of other people's life in danger, because honestly, you just shouldn't do that. So if you're gonna go ahead and drive a car, it's stay away from being behind the wheel of a car once you're smoking or you're high or anything. But if you're just doing it to relax, I feel like it's all right. Um, Now, do I think alcohol is worse than marijuana? Yes. All right. Like I stated previously, you never heard of nobody getting drunk. I mean, high. Sorry, nobody getting high and going creating harm to somebody high off of marijuana. Now, from my experiences in life and in, well, yeah, just life. So at a bar or even at home, I struggled with having a stepfather that was an alcoholic, always fighting, always trying to. I've literally fist fought him a couple of times because of him being drunk, acting stupid, threatening my mom, or threatening myself or my sister. So, you get angry drunks. Not only do you get angry drunks, you get some happy drunks, but it's very unlikely for somebody to be drunk and happy at the same time. So, most of the time, he would get mad and fight and or argue, or man, he's even picked up my snakes and threw them across the room. Like my snake never did nothing to him. You know what I mean? So, um, I feel like that shouldn't even be possible for alcohol to be better than marijuana. It's it's just not right. So, um, alcohol is definitely one of the worst drugs there are in my point of view. I feel as if marijuana was legal, a lot of people would decrease their consumption of alcohol, because they do drink alcohol because of the fact that marijuana is illegal and they don't want to break the law. So I feel like if marijuana was legal, less people would drink. So 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 yeah, should all drugs be legal? No. Using my personal experiences of life again, I've been through a lot as a kid, as a teenager, and now as a young adult. My father, fuck him. Sorry, but my father, when I was young, he was a real bad, bad, bad drug addict, and not only did he do drugs, but he sold drugs to keep us up top. And I honestly, I don't agree with it. Like, stay away from it. Anybody that tries to sell drugs to be cool, or you can go out there and work, man. You don't need the money from selling drugs. There ain't no point. Now, I've seen my dad at the point of death, hunched over a shopping cart at a freaking Save a Lot, which is embarrassing, as a 4 or 5 year old child, to look up and to know your dad is just like so messed up that he can't even stand up straight at a grocery store while you're shopping for your own kids, like it's real bad, I've seen my dad beat up his ex-wives, and all because he was high on cocaine and heroin, and like it's like, bro, although my dad, when I was young, was the first person to give me weed. I was 11 years old, and he's like, here, try this. So that shouldn't be done either. I don't agree with that either. Kids should stay away from that. Maybe till you're like grown adult, 18. You know, when you're legal to smoke cigarette, you should be legal to smoke marijuana. But as a kid, you stay away from that. And as an adult, keep your kids away from it. Don't mess their lives up, making it seem like this is so important. So yeah, so I don't think it should be all drugs should be legal just because not all drugs have the same effect, and it makes you think some things are okay when it's really not. And most of the time, you don't think at all when you're doing your actions. You just say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it," and if I did it, I did it, and if I didn't do it, well, I should have done it. Well, that's not right. From my personal experiences, it's not right. And so humans have the right to put what they want inside of their bodies if it didn't affect others. All right. If somebody decides to fill a needle up and shoot some heroin into their bloodstream, that's on them. At the end of the day, it's on them. If they want to fuck themselves up and live like a junkie, that's on them. Now, where it does bother me at is like I mentioned earlier with the weed. If this motherfucker decides to fucking shoot himself up with so much heroin to fucking knock a horse out and then decide to get in the back of a freaking car and endanger everybody around them, obviously that affects everybody. Not only does it affect you, because if you end up surviving and you end up killing the other passengers in the other vehicle, you're screwed because you're high on heroin, so now you're in jail probably for the rest of your life, rotting away, you know, when you could have just avoided it by staying at your house like a dumb junkie would. So that's why I feel like it should not be legal, and it should not. It, I don't have a problem if anybody wants to do it. If that's on you, but don't do other things that are honestly gonna affect other people, because nobody really just does it and just stays home anyways. Like most people would go and be daring and go behind of a car wheel and just go for a fun ride out of nowhere, high on heroin, meth, anything. It's just not right. It slows you down. You're not paying attention to everything like you should be. You just don't work the same when you are high. So I think it really shouldn't be. It shouldn't be legal, and people shouldn't be putting it in their bodies. Although it is up to them, it doesn't affect me because I'm not the one getting high. I'm not the one depending on it to live. But I feel like if you're driving behind me and you're high as shit and you crash into me, well, now, you crash into me at 60 miles an hour and my car flips. So now I'm depending on that because of the fact that you done almost killed me or possibly have killed me, or a family of four or a school bus, full of kids coming out of school, all because you're high on some other crap and decide that it'd be a good idea to go and drive. So that's my TQ1 on drugs. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you, George Gomez, Mr. Professor Gensler, sorry. General psychology. Thank you.